Everyone, here we are looking at the night sky as the sun goes down like we always do. But the only difference now is we're around May 5th to see the spring sky. You can actually see as the sun's going down, the Pleiades, the seven sisters, are now very, very close to the horizon. That means Taurus is just about to set right here as well. And that means that everything we saw in the winter sky is just about to go down. We won't see the winter sky for another 9 months. In order to find things, we gotta first know where we're looking. We're heading west right now, so that means over your right shoulder is north, over your left shoulder is south, and behind you is east. We're gonna look for most of our things in the southern sky again, but I need you to find north because the Big Dipper, Ursa Major, is going to be our guidepost for the spring sky. So now I'm facing north, but the Big Dipper is not where it used to be. It used to be on its edge, and it pointed us towards Ursa Minor. But if I start looking higher in the sky, closer towards zenith, I see my familiar shape again. I see the Big Dipper, but now the Big Dipper's upside down. I've got the handle right here, these three stars, and I've got the scoop kind of pointing down towards Polaris. So it still lines me up just like I did before for the circumpolar sky, but now Ursa Major is up above our heads. It's closer towards the top of the sky. And that's because the Earth has shifted now. It has gone a quarter of the way around the sun, so we're now pointing towards different stars at night. But I need you to use Ursa Major to find our next constellation. So what I've done is I've shifted our view just a little bit here, and you can see here's Mizar in the tail of the Big Dipper, and I need you to use this arc of the handle here. If you follow this curve and you follow this arc, it'll lead you to the brightest star in our next constellation. You're gonna arc towards this star. This is Arcturus, and Arcturus is the bright star in Boötes, the herdsman. Here's the bottom of Boötes. Follow this direction where my cursor is going to trace out this kite shape or this ice cream cone shape. You see the triangle here is the cone, and up here is the ice cream. This kite shape is Boötes, the herdsman. Arcturus and Boötes are the first star and constellation pair I need you to know in the spring sky. Right below Boötes, you'll find this C shape here. This C shape here is the crown. This crown has a name known as the Corona Borealis, the northern crown. Corona meaning crown, Borealis meaning towards the north. There is a Corona Australis, but that would be in the southern hemisphere. So now we have two constellations, Boötes and Corona Borealis. Just below that C shape, you're going to see this hourglass shape right here. So these 6 stars make an hourglass shape, which is another one of our Greek heroes, which we call Hercules. Kind of looks like Orion. You can see a belt here, you can see a leg, another leg, an arm, another arm, but there's a lot more going on with Hercules. There's stars that go off over this way, there's stars that come down over here, so there's a lot of stars in the constellation of Hercules, but this is the shape that I need you to know. Know the main hourglass shape right underneath Corona Borealis. And Hercules has one bright thing in it. The stars are bright, but it has a cluster right here. This cluster is known as M13 in the hip of Hercules. M13 is known as the Great Globular Cluster. So it's a fuzzy patch you can see just like all the galaxies we've shown you before, but this Messier object is one of those globular clusters we used in our lab to figure out where the center of the Milky Way galaxy is. It's a pretty large cluster of about 1 million old stars. So there's 3 constellations for you. Make sure you know Hercules with M13, make sure you know the Corona Borealis, and make sure you know Boötes with Arcturus. Now for the next constellation, we're going to go back to Ursa Major, and you're going to use the arc of the handle again to arc to Arcturus. And once you arc to Arcturus, you're going to use that same line and that same curve to go to our next star. I need to take a hard line and spike down to this star. So a straight line spike to Spica. And Spica is the bright star in the constellation of Virgo. Virgo is right here. You can see a leg. Here's another leg. You've got a back and then arms. So those stars make up the constellation of Virgo. That's the maiden laying in the sky. So she's kind of sitting on her side here, you got 2 legs, a back, and arms. And the bright star of Spica is what I need you to know for that. Just below Spica is this trapezoid shape down here. This trapezoid shape is our next constellation, which is Corvus. Corvus is really just a box. Ancient times they saw this box as a crow or a hare or a rabbit. So Corvus the crow, I want you to know, right below Spica in the hip of Virgo. That leaves us to one more constellation in the spring sky, and this constellation's a little more towards the southwest at night in the springtime, and you're looking for this backwards question mark. This backwards question mark here, or this sickle shape, is the head of Leo the lion. You can see the head of the lion right here. The bright star down here is known as Regulus. So Regulus is the bright star in the heart of the lion. Here's the head of the lion and the lion's heart. Here's a paw out front. Here's the body of Leo back here. And then here's the tail. So it kind of looks like the Sphinx laying on its side, but that is Leo the lion. Leo and Virgo are your 2 zodiac constellations for this spring sky. We've already went through Gemini, Cancer, and Taurus. Now we're into August, September, October birthdays with Leo and Virgo. So make sure you know those for the spring sky, and we'll see you next time for the summertime sky.